Hello, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel and like my videos for more updates. So the last update about Twist of Fate. Prachi is happy after Pallavi finally blesses her and Ria is angry. And also, Abhi saves Pragya from Gaurav. Let's continue. Pragya asks Abhi why did he beat him so much. Abhi asks why she seems to be strange and asks her to say what Gaurav had done. Pragya says he got unconscious. Abhi says I hit him and made him unconscious. He says you shall thank me for saving you. He says welcome. Pragya says I have knife in my hand and I would have gone. Abhi says what is this business? He says you will not believe me what happened today with me. He says Gotham got him locked in the storeroom. He says he thought that why did he do this? He says that today Gaurav told me that once he gets this office then he will kick me out. Abhi says I understood that he wants to get your business. He says he came out of the storeroom with much difficulty by breaking the door with force. He says I was about to faint. He says I just thought about you and understood that you are in danger. Abhi says when your matter comes up, then I don't see anything else. Just wanted to save you. He says when I reach here and ask what is she hearing, and after that you know everything. He says don't tell me now that there's nothing between us, as we still have feelings between us. Pragya says you are hot and she blows on his hand. Their moment are seen. Abhi tells Pragya that he took back his hand as nobody knows about them here. He asks her to go home. He says Gaurav is alive, so neither he will go to the hospital, nor he has to go to jail. Pragya comes out of the office and she thinks if this is the truth or that was the truth. She says whatever she heard 2 years back was true or not. She thinks if he had not come to save me then. She thinks though she is bold, but she got scared. Pragya sits in the car and sees Abhi standing on the road. She offers to go and drop him at home. Abhi asks who is asking, boss or my? Pragya says boss. He sits in the car. Pragya drives the car and says that she ate traffic. Abhi says you are one among them. Pragya says everything changes with place and asks him to let her drive. Abhi says think of me as punching bag and asks her to talk and vent out her anger. Pragya drives and stops the car. Abhi says you taunted me and thanking me. I shall thank you. Pragya says no. For whatever happened in the office, you saved me. Abhi says you saved yourself. I just scared him more. He gets down from the car and says bye. He says we will meet tomorrow in the office and asks shall I drop you at home. Pragya says no and looks at him as he goes smiling. A song plays in the background and Pragya drives off. Abhi comes home and thinks of Pragya. He thinks that his boss is not bad at all and thinks that she has become arrogant. She got attitude with power, but she is still the same. Sumi shows the wine bottle standing outside. Abhi keeps hand on his eyes and says now he doesn't want anything as someone is in his heart. Sumit asks what do you say? Abhi says that he wants to be in his dream. Sumit asks him to come to the dream clinic. Abhi tells him that he is dreaming about Pragya and says that she thanked me today. Aliyah hears him. Abhi says today he has beaten a business partner who wanted to get her business. Sumit asks, did you fall in love with her? Abhi asks him to go and think to be in the dream and be happy. Aliyah gets an idea and smiles. Tanu comes to the room and says today I will sleep on the bed. Aliyah says okay and tells her that they have found a trump card for their work. Aliyah asks if she started gambling and says that where did I marry? Aliyah says she is talking about Pragya and says that she found Gaurav Tapa to make Pragya lose. She says he will work for me now. Pragya comes home. Sushma says I thought you would give me more time in India, but you got more busy here. Pragya says I. Sushma looks at Pragya and asks why your sleeves are torn. Pragya says nothing. Sushma asks her to tell. Pragya says today Gautam's brother came to the office and tells everything. Sushma gets angry and gets up to go there. Pragya says she has spoiled his plans. He wanted to take my signature on the property papers and make my MMS and then blackmail us. She says she had knife in her hand. Sushma says if he would have snatched it then. Pragya says Abhi was there and wouldn't let anything happen to me. Sushma asks whom. Pragya says Abhishek Mehra. Sushma says he is your bodyguard and has done his duty. Pragya says Gaurav wanted to take a signature on the papers on which it was written that we are naming all our properties on his name. She says she has changed the papers and asked him to sign, and she says that he signed on the papers on which it was written that he is naming all his property on our name. Pragya says she will sell all the property related to the tapas and give the money in charity. She says our friendship is over with them. Sushma asks, how dare he touch you? Pragya says, I am fine. Sushma calls an employee and asks him to get Tapa's house address. Pallavi tells Riya and Prachi that Rageshwari is the chairperson of Rageshwari's foundation and today she is coming here. She says she got traditional saris for them and the matching jewelry with it. She gives them the sari and the jewelry and tells them that she wants Rageshwari Devi to like them both as they are the Kohli family's daughter-in-laws. Pallavi says that she wants them to get ready and look traditional. Telji says that you have to look good and traditional for the keys and says whoever look good will be the Kohli family daughter-in-law to get the keys. Sushma comes to Gaurav's house and slaps him hard. She says your father has worked with us since many years. He did mistakes and apologized too, but he did not do like you have done. Gaurav says your daughter wanted to kill me with knife. Sushma says she was defending herself and says thank her that she has not filed complaint against you. She says Pragya has terminated partnership with you. He says he did not sign any papers. Sushma says my daughter used the chance and will sell your shares and properties for charity as she has everything except money. He says he did not sign any papers. Sushma says if he was drunk and says that he has signed the papers and he says that Pragya cannot do this with me. Sushma says Pragya is giving your shares in charity at 3 p.m. in press conference. She wants and slaps him. Mr. Tapa comes there and slaps him. He says you have ruined us and says that you are more worse than Gautam. Aliyah comes there and tries to talk to Gaurav. Gaurav asks who is she? She says that she is Aliyah Mera, Abhi's sister. He pushes her out. Aliyah says she is the one who knows Pragya well and made a good plan to ruin her. She says the enemy of a enemy is a friend and she can help him. He closes the door. Then he thinks of Sushma's warning and opens the door. Aliyah is still standing there and Tanu comes from behind her and they smile. Prachi calls Ramru. Ramru says hello and says that if she was with him, then he would have held her hand. Prachi asks to see what she gets and shows the sari and the jewelry. She says that she asked me to look as a family's daughter-in-law and says that she has accepted me. She says that mother gave the same sari to Riya as well and she says that I am very happy. Ramru says even I am happy and I wanted you to be at my side. Prachi says I wish I can tell father that we both sisters are very happy and we are the twin sister in the same family. Ramru says the parents have a superpower and get happy when their kids are happy. Prachi says I love you. Ramru says I love you too and says now you are distracting me and says I want to be with you and make you sit beside me. Prachi says my husband is smart and knows what to tell when I am happy and sad. Ramru says your father will be happy if you are here. Prachi says I have to get ready as Miss Rageshwari is coming. He says I love you. Prachi ends the call. Pragya comes to the office and sees Abhi. She looks at him. Abhi sees Pragya standing out and says you got late. Pragya comes inside. He says there was no traffic. I thought your time would not get wasted. Pragya says she has some work. Abhi says you are the boss and can go anywhere at any time. He calls someone and asks them to send coffee for madam. Pragya takes the call and says send 2 coffees. Abhi looks at her. Pragya asks what happened. Abhi asks for whom the second coffee is. Pragya says for you. Abhi says I want to hear from you and says I came to know that you have fired Arish from the job. Pragya says he troubled you and that is why. Abhi says for me. Pragya says he was working for the tapas in this office. The other peon brings the coffee. Pragya thanks him. Abhi gets up to go. Pragya asks where is he going to. She asks him to drink the coffee. Abhi says cheers. He says you wanted to fire me from the job and today you are drinking coffee with me. Pragya says we haven't come to the coffee date and says that he is here to serve the notice period. She thinks that he is holding Apalu and asks what is he doing. Abhi looks on. Abhi gets up. Pragya looks at him. She bent down to get Apalu from the table. Abhi thinks that she still is Pragya and she still has feelings for him. He thinks that she wants him to be normal. Pragya says she will take the fowl and asks him to hold the stool. Abhi says I will take it out. If you fall, then I will hold you and you will take wrong meaning. He says I will get the fowl. Gaurav asks who is she. Aliyah says Tanu is Abhishek Mera's wife. He asks them to come inside. He says if you think that you can ruin Pragya and I shall hear your plan. He says he never saw any girl who can defeat me like Pragya. Tanu says if you have a number, then call and praise her. Aliyah says if you want her downfall, then talk to us. Tanu says he is not interested. Gaurav says he wants to see Pragya's downfall. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Please don't forget to like and share my videos and comment. Thank you.